What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 30. Goddamn, we made it such a long way. 30 episodes deep. Holy shit. So I had to bring in an old homegirl, Maddie, onto the podcast. So I appreciate you coming on. And I appreciate the shirt, by the way. If y'all ain't see what she's repping one of the old school EB shirts. I had to throw mine on too while we at it. Y'all go check out the Everyone's Beautiful on Facebook and IG, by the way. And shout out all my audio podcast listeners on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I appreciate everyone. My OGs watching on the YouTube. Y'all my niggas, bro. Y'all my niggas, because y'all always the ones that hold it down on there. So you want to go ahead and let them know who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so I'm Maddie G, Maddie whatever. Curly, you can call me Curly G Official on Instagram.
Okay.
I'm 22. I'm in college majoring in marketing.
Okay.
I want to be a digital marketer one day.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's dope. I like that. You still got quite a few years left in school?
Just one more.
Just one more?
Yeah, 2 more semesters and I'm out.
Ooh, bet. Where you work at right now?
I'm not working right now. Well,
got you.
I do have a job incoming, like seasonal for the summer on campus, so I'm gonna just be like, working like desk work.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So you're like full force like college right now then. Mhm. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
All my mind just on college.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Nah, that's
really,
what's up.
It consumes you.
Nah, I bet. No, that's dope. I always respect people who take that path of going to college and take it real serious. Yeah. It wasn't meant for me, even though it wasn't an option for me yet, but I just know it wouldn't be for me though. I'm not the college kind of person.
Yeah.
I'm not into going, like, there's not nothing, I guess, career wise that I would want to seek that requires me to go to school.
Yeah.
So I got I ain't gonna lie, like my journey to where I've gotten pretty blessed, because given the industry I work in, I can move around like now in this industry, and I don't need any kind of like college degree. Like, does it help? I mean, depending on which path I take, but not really though. It's just more about what you know in my field. So I got blessed because I can make a career out of this shit if nothing else falls through. So y'all keep fucking subscribing and listening to the podcast, so that way I can eat off of this shit eventually.
Bro, I want to start like streaming soon. Like I play video games.
Which games?
Right now I'm addicted to Splitgate. I'm on PC right now because my sister moved out with her PS4. She came back, but like I had to hop on some kind of. I just invested in a PC because like that's what most people told me to do.
Oh, really?
So,
I've never been a PC fan. I'm always PS4.
Yeah, I used to think that about myself, but
it's dope.
It's dope.
It's like fucking around with, like, you play COD at all? Like Call of Duty?
No, I haven't been purchasing like big games yet. More focused on like the free ones, or like,
Gotcha.
the little like trendy ones. Like I just be playing around,
Yeah, I always find it dope how like the people that play Call of Duty, how they're like fucking with the mice and the mouse and the fucking keyboard at the same time. I think that shit's so dope. It's just like fun. To me, I feel like that shit would be so confusing. I'm like, I'm over here gonna be like looking down at the fucking mouse and the keyboard, seeing what I'm clicking and shit.
Yeah, it's harder than it looks. I mean, it's easier than it looks actually. Like you get used to it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So all my viewers that always watch my my podcast, y'all know I always tend to have some sort of topic, or at least shout out to Shanti on the last episode being down to do the card game. So that was live, something different.
I'm down for that. I'm down for that.
That shit was so like, dude, because like she's very like reserved from what I've like always remembered, and like her, shout out to Shanti. I told her multiple times, like, dude, that was so real as fuck for her to do that. Like, I think that's so dope. But hey, if y'all want to see shit like that more often with different guests, let me know. Or if anyone's willing to come on and do something along the lines like that, I have more card games that are very similar, so I'm always willing to do new shit to keep the audience, always engaged in shit. They get I guess more of a personal side to me more than usual, aside from like all like the life shit as far as like depression and all that. But nah, I know you said you had a a story you wanted to explain to me. She didn't tell me off camera, by the way. So hearing it right now is gonna be my first time and y'all's first time together. So I'm ready when you are.
It's okay. I hope it's easy to follow because it's confusing a little bit.
Okay.
It's weird. So I had a dream, right? And in this dream, everything was normal. You know, I was going about my day. I look up and there's an eyeball, like in the sky, like an eye, like just one, and it's like looking, and I was just like, that's not normal, like. And so I started panicking, like, what is this? What's going on? Because it felt so real.
Gotcha.
Like, it was such a normal day. Like, that's why I was like as if like that would actually happen, like on an average day for you. So I was like, okay. So I woke up. Nothing really happened after that. And I was like, that's a really weird dream. Maybe I should like look it up. So I looked it up. What's the meaning? And the first thing that came up was like a bad omen. Like, and so I was like, I'm sorry, can I cuss on here?
Oh, this is Real.Raw.Uncut. We don't give a fuck on it.
I said fuck no. And I was just like, whatever, I don't believe that. So I went back and I was like, you know what, I'm curious. What is this bad omen? So it said something about like saving money. Like you would get hit with an unexpected loss. It said your economic situation could deteriorate. And I was just like, not my money. Like, no. So I was like, nah, I guess I'm going to just forget about it. Whatever. It was just a dream. 2 days later, I get a call from a fraud agent with my bank. And $800 was taken out of my account.
No shit. That's so fucked. That's
like,
crazy.
When I got the news, I was like, okay,
tripped out.
Like,
Hell
was that an actual message? Like, was that something I was really supposed to like take seriously? Like, if I would have closed my account after I read that, that wouldn't have happened. So I was just like, maybe there's, I don't know, something going on. Like, in some people like describe it as like revelations. Like, you realize something could be like real, something could be out there, something could be really speaking to you and connecting to you and like warning you. So it's like, that's like an angel sort of, you know? It's like, I don't know. It was weird. It felt like something was like really like in my dream, like warning me.
Have you ever heard of like lucid dreams?
Yeah.
So it's crazy because I've been like reading up because I've been more like trying to get on my like spiritual grind this year and shit. And there's like a practice that like a breathing exercise people do prior to going to sleep. So like when you're in bed already, you know, laying down, getting ready to go to sleep, there's a breathing exercise you do prior to, which kind of gets you into like this, like your full body's just like so at ease, right? And so then eventually you fall asleep. But it's a way for you, pretty much like how people describe it is you control your own dreams. And so a lot of time our dreams, without us knowing though, right, are a reflection of our own like thoughts and minds, right? But once you're able to control your dreams, and that's where lucid dreams comes into, like you're able to actually control what happens and how your dreams play out and shit. So I've been trying to do more shit like that on a daily, but I have been so unsuccessful with it, I'm not gonna lie. But
yeah, isn't there like audios you could listen to on YouTube?
Like prior to going to sleep and shit.
I've been too scared to do that.
Like. No, but I feel what you're saying, because like I've always been curious, because last year it happened multiple times where I had this dream, and all I remember from the dream though is just losing teeth.
Oh,
and
that's a classic one.
It was just like multiple times, and I remember towards the end of last year, like there was one that it felt so fucking real, like me just literally like, and it's not just one or two, like it's multiple teeth that I'm losing. And I was same shit too. I was curious. I'm like, oh hell no, this shit can't be normal, because it's like the same type of dream repeated like throughout the year and shit. So I ended up looking it up, and if I'm not mistaken, if I recall correctly, I want to say it had like something along the lines with foreshadowing like a big loss, as far as like a death or some shit.
Yeah.
Thank God I haven't lost anybody that I know of that's close to me recently. So I've just always been very like curious over that shit, because it's a dream that I had multiple times last year. But I know that a lot of people believe in stuff like that, like certain dreams that they have. I know people see like, I know if they see like a snake, I know that's just something like really negative to happen. I know it's just like certain things that you see that just can relate to other things. But I know that and lucid dreams are very interesting though. I have to do my my research just to get more like educated, but I find all that shit so interesting.
Yeah.
Because there's just some dreams where like they feel so fucking real, like so real, but you wake up and it's like, I swear I'm the worst one at it. I wake up 2 minutes later, I'm trying to remember the dream. It's like, man, I forgot that motherfucker. Like, I'm like, man, what I dream about?
Right? It's crazy.
Hell yeah, I hate that shit.
It just goes away. Like, that's why I'm so glad I remembered that one dream. And it's like,
they say it's a good thing too. Like when you wake up and you have like you know, dreams that you can remember. As soon as you wake up, they say it's best to just write them down, like the whole dream, that what you can remember and what you experienced and shit. I think that'd be dope. Honestly, I've never tried that, honestly.
It's good to write anything down, like everything really. Like journaling is.
Yeah, you journal?
No.
But it's good though.
I know the
it's
benefits.
Yeah.
I know I would preach it, but that's just not what I do. I'm like more of just like a mental. Like I keep things just in my mind.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm not much of a writer, but like I know it's good for a lot of people.
For sure. Nah, it's helpful for sure. Like I know that's something I used to do too. A couple years ago, I had my little journal, not a diary. So fuck y'all, it wasn't a diary. It was just my journal. I used to write. Used to write my day on there, and for like the first, I want to say, like the first 2 months of this year for sure. I was doing a thing. If y'all watched my episode, I forgot which one it was, but it was a few episodes ago before I took a break where it's the start of this year, I started rating my days and just put in like a little, like, it's a summary of how my day was and shit. So I started off with like a bunch of like 5, 6s and shit. But I definitely would say if I would have kept going, because what we're in May, I would say like the last 2 months for sure been amazing this year. They've been, I don't know why, it's just been blessing after blessing after blessing. So I can't complain. It's been a great year so far. Yeah. How do you feel your 2022's been? May we're so like almost halfway through the year. So how would you say your year's been?
Transforming, like very transforming. Like
okay.
Like yeah, I'm just going through a lot of progress basically. Like
gotcha.
I'm starting to like have to make like serious decisions like regarding like my school and my career and like, you know, putting myself out there because, you know, I'm going into business, so like you just got to sell yourself at that point. Like,
for sure. I
got to start branding. I got to start like really like getting my.
What would you like your business to be? If you had the option to choose.
Well, I guess it would be cool to run a business, but that's not really something I want to do. But if I were to run a business, like hair care products for sure. Like,
Gotcha.
You know, I gotta tam this.
Yeah, I feel you.
Like it would be cool to like make hair products for sure.
That's dope.
Especially since like, you know, you can't really trust a lot of these other companies. Yeah. Like, the shit that they put in it.
For
not
sure.
Good. So yeah, it would be cool to do hair care products.
That's dope. Yeah. That's dope. So would you say that you had any New Year's resolutions that you actually did get to accomplish? And is there any that, if you did write any down, that you're still planning to accomplish?
I guess working out more.
Okay.
You know, that typical one.
Yeah. Trying to get them gains.
It's so hunting. It hunts me every day. Like, I'm like, I probably should just go on a jog. You know, like, there's a whole lake in my backyard, pretty much. And I could just jog around
every
day, you know? So, I just don't.
Badass.
But, Yeah, that's something I definitely want to work on.
Okay, that's dope.
Yeah,
that's dope. So I always ask all my guests this, right? But if there was one piece of advice that you've been given or that you just learned throughout, your years, what would you say it is?
Hold on, it's gonna give me a second, cause like.
Now there's a lot. I know everyone I ask, it takes them a little minute because there's just so many good advice out there and so many, I guess, quotes that you can give. But I always say my favorite. I mean, everyone knows I got it tatted on my arm, but it's tomorrow's never promised. Like that's definitely always gonna be like my number one in my books.
I know a lot of people have probably heard this before, but I like the grow through what you go through.
Okay.
That one's like, it stuck with me since high school.
Yeah.
Because it used to be, it actually, like, what's funny is that, you know how teachers used to put little messages on walls?
Yeah.
That's actually one of the messages she had. And it's like, damn, like, she actually got me.
No shit.
With those messages. Like,
that's
now, like, no other teacher has put something that really had me like, dang, like, that's actually pretty deep.
That's what's up.
So, yeah, I live by that.
That's dope. No, I like that. You
gotta be open to change. Like,
yeah.
You really gotta let it just flow.
For sure. What would you say is one of your, like, the biggest obstacles that you've overcome in your life so far? I know we're still very young, and I know there's so many that we're probably going to encounter in our years to come, but so far, because you're 22. So what would you say is the biggest obstacle you've overcome right now?
I feel like I've been getting a lot better with my procrastination. Like,
okay,
I've had a little bit more motivation throughout the years. Like, in college, like, that's all it teaches you. Like, you just, if you want to accomplish the things you want to accomplish, then you gotta care.
Yeah.
So you gotta put some effort into it.
Okay, I like that.
So basically, yeah, like, just really being on top of myself. Like,
I like
when
that.
it comes to, like, getting shit done.
I like that because we used to have like a little inside joke with the guys, and because we used to be real bad, like our first year living together, we used to all like have our moments where we would procrastinate like a motherfucker. Like, I'm talking about just exaggerated. And so we used to have like a little joke. We used to say procrastination bay, and then it turned into like an abbreviation of PB. So we used to be like, oh yeah, we just chilling with PB right now, like just bullshitting. But I learned that for like, I guess anyone watching that, I guess at times feels like, damn, I'm procrastinating too much, or I ain't been doing shit. I honestly always say like, it's so silly, but literally like if you just get up and hop in the shower, like it will just wake you the fuck up.
Oh yeah,
and
showers
you just
help.
Yeah, as soon as you take that shower, get ready and shit, like you can go ahead and start doing whatever it is that you need to do. Because it's so hard to like shower, unless it's like nighttime and you shower before bed, that's different. But like it's so hard to shower like midday and go right fucking back to bed. Like it just wakes you the fuck up. So definitely guess I'd say that's the best piece of advice that I can give to anyone that feels like they're fucking procrastinating too much in the day. So just hop in the goddamn shower with y'all's nasty asses, man.
Bro, what?
Nah, but nah, I remember I know a conversation we had one time a while ago. I feel like it was a deep conversation that time. But you had said something interesting, and I don't know if it's okay with you to talk about it, but I remember you mentioning how you feel that there's times where you gotta act a certain way around people, in a sense, like
yeah.
I forgot how it was worded, and I don't want to say something you didn't say, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Why do you feel like you had to, I guess, in a sense, change who you truly are to please those people?
I think it has something to do with the instinct that we all have to like just judge someone. Like, we automatically judge people.
Yeah.
The moment we see them.
For sure.
So it's like, I feel like it's sort of like an anxiety mechanism for all of us to like mask ourselves, kind of keep ourselves hidden. We don't want to like reveal too much.
Yeah.
You know, like, we don't know people. Like, we don't know these people who are you're just meeting. So it's like, how do you know how to really act around someone you don't know? You know, like, everyone has boundaries. Everyone has like certain things you just don't say around them.
Correct.
You know, like, and it's just, you just got to be able to respect that too. So like, all that and the pressure of looking good just in general,
yeah,
would kind of lead you to like, you know, put on like a fake smile.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you feel like I know like you said, I believe it too, that you know, all of us, you know, including myself, like, we all, you know, judge someone as soon as you see them or you meet them. But what would you say you think, in your opinion, is the first thing that people judge you on when they first meet you? It's like, for me, for example, it's when they see me, a lot of times, it was more common when I had my braids and shit, but they see someone with tattoos, braids, earrings, like, immediately, like, I get judged like, oh, either I'm like a bad individual, or I just seem like, let's just say, quote unquote, like a thug, whatever. Like, that's first thought that comes into people's mind when they see me. So what would you say you think is what people perceive you when they first see you?
Me? Okay.
Because you got a very unique personality, in my opinion, and not in like a bad way. Like, you're just like, I think once people get to like truly like know you, because I think that conversation was a dope like conversation that we had that time. I got to see like a whole kind of different side of you. So I think you have a very like unique personality. Like, I think you're honestly like low key like funny as shit, like like fucking hilarious, like goofy, but in a good way though.
Thank you.
And I don't think a lot of people, from like when I've seen like when we've gone out with like your ex like coworkers and stuff, like I didn't really see much of that. Like, it was not that you were reserved, but in that sense, like, certain things, like, I know you didn't express much.
Yeah, I filter myself. Like, that's what I call it. Call it filtering.
Yeah.
Basically, like, letting some parts come out, but not all of it.
Yeah.
You know, like, you don't want to get the pulp in there. You want to just get it clean.
For sure.
You know, just have it clean, have it consistent. That's what people tend to gravitate towards, I guess. So it's like, it's not that difficult to understand. Like, when you look at like the psychology of it, like I took psychology my second semester at Lone Star.
No shit.
And I learned this. It was so interesting. I'm not sure if it's actually right, because like, maybe I'm not remembering this correctly. Like, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure we learned that the first thing we judge about someone is their voice. Which is really interesting to me. And it kind of makes sense, because like, when you look at like people that you would think, like, you could tell like they're just judgmental, like they like to judge, and they're open about it, like they're like obvious about it. Like, they tend to pick on the quiet ones.
For
like,
sure.
They really want them to talk. They really want to hear their voice, because it's like, it's weird. Like, you can't really fully judge someone without hearing them.
I like that.
So it's like, that makes sense. But like, me personally, like, what I think people see in me, I feel like I've gotten told that I have RBF. So like, maybe I'm mean to a lot of people. Like,
oh, okay. I was trying to think like, what the fuck is RBF, but I got you.
Resting bitch face.
Yeah. Okay.
So I got that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, people have seen me look crazy. Like, I'm just like, I'm not trying. Like, that's just my face.
For
like,
sure.
Like, I'm cool when you talk to me, but like, yeah, I guess people think I'm mean. People probably think I'm judgmental. I don't know, because I guess I'm kind of outgoing and talkative. So it's like,
for sure.
I don't know. I guess, yeah, that kind of thing.
Do you ever feel like you regret like ever like having to, in a sense, filter yourself, or just act a certain way around others just to, I guess, get along? Or
hell yeah.
Yeah.
this may seem a little controversial, but I feel guilty when I'm usually around white people.
Gotcha.
Because I code switch. You know what code switching is?
Code culture. You like
code switching is when you talk a certain way to like have others around you feel comfortable, because it's like you mimic them. So like I do that, especially around white people. So it's like when I try to like mute my blackness, it does feel bad. Like I feel gross. I'm like, ew, why am I doing this?
It's so funny you say that though, because I swear to God, on everything I love, just last night me and Damien were having such a deep conversation, and I was expressing to him about like my past life and shit like that, and how far I've gotten to like this day. And it's so crazy that you mentioned what you're saying, because I told him like, now that I've been putting my audio onto Spotify and Apple Podcasts,
they can't see what you look like,
and I'm listening to myself, right? Because I have to listen through the whole thing and make sure that I don't gotta chop anything off. And so I listen to myself and I'm just like, damn, at times I just repeat like or I'm or like there's certain things that I say, but I just hear the way that I speak, and it's just like, it's definitely not professional at all. And given what I do for work and how far I've gotten right now, like up on the ranks, I'm held to such a high standard right now. And so I know that like through emails, like, and the boys can tell you just because we had such a funny experience recently too, through emails, like I can sound hella professional. Like if you don't know me, through emails I'll sound so professional because I know certain words to say like on emails to make them sound so good. But you hear me now speaking, and it's just me naturally. Like it's not that I want to speak this way, it's just the way I speak. Like, and I see what you're saying though, because around like my like homeboys or like my black friends and shit, like I can speak more freely of how I naturally speak. Exactly. Not because I'm trying to talk like them, that's just how I naturally grew up talking and shit. And so then I'm around like same shit, like I'm at work around the white people, I'm trying to be a little bit more sophisticated and shit, so I'm trying to like yes sir, yes ma'am, like just cutting out the cuss languages and shit, like all the cuss words and stuff. It's funny because today I was giving a presentation at work, and all the people in the office come down, and I'm over here installing some fucking vinyl and shit, and they're videotaping me so they can put it on their website. And I'm over here like trying to explain stuff, but I didn't realize at first. I had to catch myself midway talking. I'm over here like throwing out cuss words like, oh yeah, you can't do this shit and like this, but I can't talk like that because what I'm saying, like it just doesn't sound professional, especially if they're gonna be recording me to put it on the fucking website. So I'm just like, god damn. So I feel you. That's funny because I'd be the same way. Like it's not even just white folks, like I'd be around like Asians or like my Middle Eastern folks. It's more, I guess, trying to cut out certain words out my vocabulary that I'm used to using, and trying to change my tone of voice and shit like that. But it's funny because even when I speak Spanish, it's the same shit, because there's just so many different types of Hispanics. You got Salvadorans, people from Honduras, you got people from Colombia, you got Mexicans. So each one of them though have their own way of speaking, and just given that I work in construction, I work but around nothing but Hispanic guys, but there's just so it's so diverse within the Hispanics, like all these different people from different countries. So I pick up like lingo from each one of them. So my Spanish, like when I'm speaking, it varies. Like it can sound like I'm Salvadoran one day and then Mexican the next day, or even like one phrase sounds like a Mexican, the next phrase sounds like Salvadoran. Like it alters back and forth, and so it throws people off because they can never tell, like, damn, where your parents from? Like they never know. Or even like let's say I'm talking to a coworker that's Mexican, he hears me talking, he's like, damn, you've been hanging around the Salvadorians so much, like this and that, and vice versa. So it's the same shit but in Spanish though. But I feel you though, especially I know it sounds fucked up, and I feel like people are just so sensitive, but I don't give a fuck that people are sensitive as fuck nowadays. It sounds fucked up because it comes off that way, but to me I don't see it racist. Like if I speak a certain way around white folks, it's not me trying to like, be a certain, make fun of them and things. Just
like try to do like a reverse.
Like it's just literally like what it is. But what does bother me, and it sounds probably like a double standard, is when I hate when the white folks try to talk. That shit pisses me off, bro. It sounds like a double standard, right?
But that's everybody. Like
it's like, oh man.
But yeah, everybody feels that way.
Like it's crazy. Like the shirt that you're wearing, I wear it a lot, and I get looks all the time, and luckily no one's ever like said anything to me in person yet. But I've had looks for sure where like people stare at, obviously I can see them, their eyes are on the shirt, then they look up at the shirt, and then they look up, and I'm just sitting there just waiting like, oh, I hope you say something. Ooh, like I hope you say something stupid to me. But like, and I've had other people that the ones that are actually vocal about it, it's them showing love, and when we were making that shirt with Damon and Phoenix, shout out my boys, it was a deep conversation we had, because that collection we dropped one that was for representing autism, and we had the BLM Movement, and we had the Pride shirt, and I want to say there was one more. It might be the one that I'm wearing actually. And so it was like, okay, obviously the autism one, no issues with that one. The Pride one, you're gonna get people that fuck with it. You're gonna have your folks that are homophobic and shit, they ain't gonna fuck with it. But the BLM one is the most controversial, right? And so it was like, should we do it, should we not do it? But then we came to the conclusion, like, fuck this. Like, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it because this is what we believe in, regardless of what anyone thinks. And if we had people that supported us in the first collection or the first two collections, and now that we're dropping this, they don't want to fuck with us, then they weren't real supporters from the beginning. Because I feel like, to me, that's why I don't believe in I don't believe in politics. I don't believe in religion, none of that bullshit, because I feel like all that was made to like separate people. Like now you got, for example, with religion, you got Christians judging Catholics, Catholics judging Jews, and Jews like judging everybody. So it's like everyone like is segregated in their own little groups. And then you bring race into shit, right? And then now you got, and it's not obviously everybody, but you got a good amount of people like, white folks hating on anyone that's colored. The most African Americans, they try to stick together. Same thing with Hispanics, we try to stick together. And so it's like everyone stays with within their own race, and it just becomes an issue where it's like everyone butts heads. Like they have their opinion, and just because they have that opinion, we do the exact opposite. You know what I'm saying? Just to go contradicting them. And I think it's so ridiculous. Like me, I don't judge nobody by the skin of their color. Like I have one of my best friends, shout out my boy Matt, he's a white boy, I fuck with him to death. Like, and then I also got obviously a bunch of like colored friends. Like I have a variety of different people I fuck with, and I don't judge none of them based off the color skin. I judge people based off their personality, like their soul and how they are as an individual. If they're a shitty person, they're a shitty person. You can be white, black, fucking brown, pink, nigga, yellow, it don't matter. Like if you're a shitty person, you're a shitty person. And I just hate that. Let's just say with that, because the shirt says all lives don't matter until Black Lives Matter. Like people take that phrase and they flip it in their own perspective to make it seem a lot worse than what it really is. It's not saying like, because people I can't even say they're ignorant. Like they don't have the luxury of me saying the actual real word of ignorant. They're ignorant as fuck. Like ignorant as fuck. Because to me it's like, the shirt doesn't say nobody's lives matter until Black lives. It says all lives don't matter.
They're rewriting it.
You know what I'm saying? In their own way, to it's like, oh, so only Black people's lives matter. It's like, no, you don't get it.
That's
like it's
literally not what it says. Like
yeah, it's so ridiculous, and I hate it. You know what I'm saying? And I wear that shit with pride because, man, just being like obviously brown folk myself. And I know I have my mom here who she barely speaks a lick of English. Like I know just as much as y'all get looked at a certain way, it's like we do too. You know what I'm saying? And it just goes unseen because it's not a natural thing like how the BLM movement was, which I'm not tripping, but it's brought light to it, which I fuck with. Like I tip my hat off to that, but it happens so often where like, you know, you're at a store, you're just anywhere public, they hear Hispanic talking Spanish, they're like, you get a white folk around them, start talking all crazy. Oh, this is America, talk English, like little dumb shit like that. But I know for you guys too, like it's probably even worse. Like people don't realize, like unless you are literally like African American yourself, you don't know what it is to like almost live in fear. And I know a lot of people live
Bro,
that way.
I was telling my boyfriend that earlier today, actually. Like,
no shit.
Like, we do live in a certain way than like different than others, and that's one thing. You know, obviously not all white people. A lot of them know. A lot of them are aware of this.
Yeah.
But like, it's they just live life on a completely different channel.
Yeah.
It's like there's no connection there. That's
For
why
sure.
it's so difficult to get across to them. Like really have them hear the message. Like they just can't hear it. They're not tuned in. That's how I like to like compare it to like as if we're on a certain radio station. They just can't get to it.
For sure. So
it's like, and that's because of, you know, years.
Oh yeah.
Just history.
For sure.
Like.
No, it's crazy though, and I think everything starts from the house though. Like as kids, like everything starts from home. Like our generations to come, it really depends on us to mold our children into just loving everybody, and regardless of skin color. Like I said, if you want to teach your kid, like okay, like if this person's a certain way, then you know don't fuck with them. That's fine, but don't do it because they look or their skin color is a certain way. Like don't fuck. To me, that's people don't realize, but it really does start from the house. And even if you aren't the one physically or verbally telling your kid this and that, kids as they're growing up, they see your actions, they hear you speaking to like other adults in the house on a daily. So if they hear y'all saying certain things or acting a certain way, they mimic all that because that's what they're taught. Like people don't realize, like kids come to this world not knowing jack shit. Like they're new to this world. So us as parents, like we're supposed to teach them everything when it comes to life, you know, and they learn everything from us their first like good amount of years when they're on earth. But it all stems from home, and that's what people don't realize. Like if we have young kids, because I've seen it with young motherfucking kids, young kids, and it's so like, sad to see that.
Videos, like I've seen like videos from, you know, a long time ago, like the 60s, of like these like black kids in a neighborhood, right? And they're like they're on their bikes and someone's recording them, and some of the little white kids came up to them and was like, yo, like calling them like, you know, nigger and all that, telling them to leave, and like you guys can't play here. And it's like there's like 5, like that's 7 crazy. Probably the oldest was probably like 10. Like
that's crazy.
I'm like,
you know, you watch this dude on YouTube. He's from Houston, actually. His name's Jadeon. Oh, dude, I love Jadeon. So he just made like his most recent video. He went to like I forgot where it's at, but it's like one of like the most like quote unquote most racist towns on earth. And it was actually, it's famous, like the area's famous because of years ago this white guy went viral by holding up a sign saying Black Lives Matter in that little town, and cars were driving by and like, you know, talking like crazy to him. It was in that town that Jadeon went to recently. He
was risking his life. You know why? Because they back then, not only did they lynch black people, but they used to lynch white people who was alongside us. Like they really hated them.
We're savages. Hell yeah.
In fact, they just really, they saw them as more of a threat because, come on now, they got some privilege there. Like they got some power there. They could actually like get us out of that state, which they did help us do that.
For sure.
And that's what scared them. So like they was really against that kind of stuff.
Nah, and it's crazy because I thought the same. Like when I seen the video like starting, I'm like, it's gonna go south. But nah, it was crazy because I mean he even said himself like he got a bunch of looks. No one said anything crazy. He was expecting to get called names and this and that as soon as he walked into stores. But this dude's so crazy that I guess someone had told him that nearby, like in a town like down the street, is where like one of like the leaders of the KKK in that town was living at. And so his ass over here trying to, because just Dion's crazy as fuck. Shout out just Dion, bro. Like that's the dude, man. He's hilarious. He's over here trying to look for the guy. And so he's asking people around, like trying to be low key about it, like at first, seeing if anyone knew how he could get to him, and no one like said shit to him. So his dumb ass in the middle of Walmart yells out loud, like, does anyone know? And he says the guy's name. He's like, I'm trying to do an interview with him. Well, like a few minutes pass by and some white guy pulls him to the side and was all like, hey man, you shouldn't be doing that because it's a small town. Everyone knows each other here. Like, it's going to get back to him that you're pretty much calling him out. And to him, like, that's a sign of like disrespect, like a threat. Like, don't do that. He's like, and the only reason I'm gonna tell you how to get to him is because I respect that you're even ballsy enough to even do some shit like that. He's like, but just even me here talking to you and telling you this, he's like, people are looking at us right now as we're speaking. He's like, so even I'm putting myself at risk.
Scary.
Yeah, it was a good video, honestly. Well, long story short, he ends up finding where the guy lives, goes all the way over there. But the dude, obviously, he's in that kind of group, so he had someone else, not the main guy, just someone else just come out, and Jadion's like, hey, can I get a video with him? He's like, I'm not trying to, do any funny shit. I'm not trying to do a prank. He's like, if he has his opinions, like, I'm not here to argue his opinions. I just want to hear them out, And pretty much the guy was just telling him, like, nah, he's not going to do an interview. He's like, but, I'll talk to you for a little bit. And it was so crazy what I took away from the video that was just so insane to me was the white dude that came out to speak to Jadion. At one point in the video was all like, yeah, we see people, and he's talking about like his people, the white people, they see African Americans as beasts, like they don't belong. He's like, y'all are just like beasts, like y'all are like another like savage animal, like a cow or something. He's like, y'all don't pretty much they don't belong like within like the human race and shit. So it's so crazy to know that there's still people to this day that have those beliefs like that deep. Yeah. And I know there's other folks that maybe their beliefs aren't to that extreme, but they're still racist as fuck though.
Oh yeah.
Like racist as shit. And I find that shit
like
so
that
insane.
Ignorant, that bigoted type racist. Yeah. Like really, it's not even that they see us as full on animals. Yeah. They just know they like it. It feels good to them to make us feel belittled.
Yeah. It's just, I always find it insane that these last few years there's been certain like worldwide crimes that's happened like in the US and shit.
Hell yeah.
That white folks have done and their charges or what happens to them is not that crazy. Yeah. Then you get a black person that does something, oh dude, and they stiff him with like hella years, treat him like shit, like, and it's like, damn, like this white dude did like 10 times worse than this guy. He got just a smack on the hand, and y'all are like screwing this dude over. Like, it just, the justice system is so fucked. Yeah. Like, there's no way us colored folks can win ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just say you get the same cop pulling over 2 different vehicles in the same day. Pulls over a white person, let's say for speeding. Both cars, they get pulled over for speeding at the same speed. I guarantee you 9 out of 10 times he probably gives the white person just a little warning. Yeah. Guarantee he pulls over the black person. He's over here, asking him if all these extra questions. He can search the vehicle, just being all hostile, like on some weird shit.
Yeah, like we gotta be extra careful.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, they don't realize like that. As much as they don't want to admit it, bro, they get treated differently. Like black folks get treated so differently than white folks, and it's so sad. It's so fucking sad, like, to see, like, that shit's insane. But man, shout out all of my colored folks. I fuck with y'all. Shout out all the Hispanics. I love y'all to death. white folks, I hate y'all. No, I'm bullshitting. I love everybody, man. I ain't gonna cap. I love everybody. Shout out to Clothing Brown. Everyone's beautiful. We don't judge. We don't discriminate. We say everyone's beautiful because that's what we truly believe in. And that's actually where it came from, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, like, we genuinely, like, within us three, we really don't judge nobody other than, like, the person's personality.
Like, and what you mean by personal? You mean like their,
yeah, like just,
their heart, like their,
yeah, like their soul, like how they are. Like, I've learned within the last year, given that I'm in this industry, which is construction, like, I always feel like, not let me take that back. I don't feel this way, but I understand that when I walk into a job site, I'm like a guppy around nothing but sharks. Why do I say that? Because I'm new to this industry, right? And I'm so young. I'm usually like the youngest guy out there. So I recognize that I have to have a different demeanor and carry myself with a different kind of attitude out there, where I can't be playing around. I can't be joking around. Like, I got to take my work very seriously, because they immediately look at me and they're like, oh, he don't know shit. Oh, he's just a baby. Oh, and they try to take advantage of me. Like, I'm wise enough to where I recognize how they are based off of how they're trying to treat me, certain things that they do and say. And so I noticed that a lot of these guys, there's so much pride and ego that goes around in our side of the field. Like, everyone tries to be alpha male and shit. Who knows the most? Whose nuts can hang the lowest? Like, it's so stupid. Like,
I hate that. Oh my god.
Yeah, and so what I realized I've came across some, like, older guys though, like in their 40s, 50s, that see me and don't treat me that way. They actually, if anything, when they recognize that I don't know something, they'll literally, like, take time out of their day, go out of their way, and explain it to me and teach me on it, and, like, just educate me and shit. Overall, I respect those folks, because to me, that's just somebody that's just humble enough to not give a fuck about age, see someone that's ambitious, young, willing to learn, out there trying to work hard, and is willing to show them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I respect that. So again, I've always learned people teach me how to treat them. So you don't be a certain way. I mean, I can be the same way right back. So
yeah, like the golden rule, like,
yeah,
treat people the way you want to be treated. Like,
oh, I hate that one though. I hate that one. I swear to God, I hate that one.
I know, there's a lot of fallacies with it. A lot of things wrong with it.
Yeah, like, it's so crazy because I said it, I want to say episode, this is 30, so 28 actually with Damien. At one point I was talking about my little girl, and I was like, I know that in school the teachers always teach kids that it's like, hey, be nice, treat people how you want to be. I hate that though, because I always say, the whole saying, if we break it down, it says treat people how you want to be treated. So let's just say I walk around treating everybody with, like, the utmost respect. I'm very nice, whatever. But you got your ugly people who are, even if I'm nice to them because that's how I want to be treated, going to treat me a certain way.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's like, okay, well,
do I let them, you hate the kill it with kindness type of...
I hate that, yeah. Well, it depends. Like, if I'm trying to be petty to somebody, like, if I know that they don't like me or some shit, and they have a certain attitude, then I will intentionally, kill them with kindness. I know that they may be trying to do certain things to get under my skin and piss me off. I won't let it.
It only works for certain people.
Yeah, you got to know, like, pick and choose who it works with. But when it works, though, dude, it feels so amazing because, like, you really, like, piss them off because they're over here, like, hell yeah. But now, like, going back to breaking that shit down, though, it's like, if I come across someone that's, like, an ugly individual, and I'm over here trying to teach, treat them respectfully, treat them nice and shit, but they're over here being the opposite to me. At that point, it's like, well, do I continue to treat them how I want to be treated? Because I want them to treat me good and with respect.
Not only that, that's one thing that's wrong with it. Another thing I feel like is, depending on the kid and depending on their, like, not their history, but, like, their situation, like, what kind of family they're growing up in.
For sure.
That statement could lead to them questioning how they should be treated in the first place. Like, a lot of young kids don't really know that yet. They know they're supposed to be fed. They know they're supposed to get attention, but they don't necessarily know how they're supposed to be treated.
I like that.
So it's like, that's just going to leave someone lost and confused, or however they're treated from their parents or older siblings or whatever, they're going to think, okay, I'm guessing that's how I'm supposed to treat people. So like, they're going to be bitter. It's going to actually like do reverse. Like, it's going to backfire and like, cause people to actually be like mean. So
I could definitely see that. I think honestly, if I'm being honest with, like, for example, my little girl, I've always said that I'm a teacher that you got to learn to reciprocate energy. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I live by that shit now, because like I said earlier, people teach me how to treat them. So I always I'm always in. She has hella manners, and I'm gonna continue to like make sure that, you know, when she meets somebody, she always gives them the benefit of the doubt. Same way I do. Like, when I meet somebody, every time I meet them, I always, you know, present myself, say my name, you know, nice to meet you, whatever. Always with a smile, you know, trying to be real cool. And depending from that first interaction when we meet moving forward, that's gonna determine how I treat that person. So like, if that person, like, I'm over here like putting my hand out to shake him, and I'm like, you know, hey, my name's Jeff, nice to meet you, and they just look at me, they're like, oh, what's up? And they're like, with an attitude, I ain't speaking to you no more. Like, I ain't fucking with you no more. Like, the rest of the night, I ain't fucking with you.
That's it
for me. Like, now, when they come up to me, like, let's just say we're having a conversation, they try to say something, like, direct something to me, I'm gonna hit them with some like little like bullshit ass attitude as well, and then be like, man, what's your problem? Be like, well, shit, I mean, you just, then I would literally tell them like, man, you just taught me how to treat you earlier. Then be like, what you talking about? Like, you ain't shake my hand when we was you know, when I first met you. So I mean, I ain't got shit to say to you. So like, that's how I like to think about it. Is like, if everyone learned, you know, how to respect each other, and, you know, just how to have good fucking manners and shit, then I think people get along a lot better. But you got people who just are shitty individuals, honestly. Yeah. Shitty people. Fuck all the shitty people out there.
Yeah. Nah, y'all got problems.
Nah, do you have anything else like that you want to add on, or anything you want to say to the audience? It could be advice, it can be anything, that last words you want to leave it off on.
Stay fresh.
I like that. Now, I appreciate you coming on though, to the podcast. Honestly, I think it was a dope episode to get to know a lot more about you and who you are, and certain other topics that we hit. So I genuinely enjoyed this episode, especially the main topic. I feel like the BLM. Like I said, people are gonna have their opinions on it, and people aren't gonna like that we talked about it, and they're not gonna like our viewpoints on it. But fuck you. That's all I gotta say is just fuck you. Yeah. Straight like that. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. I ain't finna sit here and cry about it. So I'm still gonna go to sleep like a motherfucking baby.
Okay, so. Yeah.
But nah, I do appreciate you coming on though.
But yeah.
Thank you.
I appreciate this too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.